Welcome to Kit's Myths and Mysteries, events that have occurred in a world you thought you knew. Today, we're taking a giant step back in time, all the way to 1898, to look at an amazing novel called Futility, or The Wreck of the Titan, written by Morgan Robertson. Remember that date, 1898? The story is about the largest, most luxurious cruise ship ever built, named the Titan. This fictional vessel was a true marvel of its time, designed to be the pinnacle of ocean travel, was packed with wealthy passengers. Enjoying the opulence and grandeur on its maiden voyage across the North Atlantic in April, the Titan was described as practically unsinkable, testament to modern engineering. It could steam along at a blistering 25 knots, a speed that was almost unheard of back then. But one cold April night, tragedy struck. While racing through the icy waters, the Titan collided with a massive iceberg, tearing a huge gash in its side. The unthinkable happened. The unsinkable ship began to go down. Panic ensued, but there was another critical flaw. The ship didn't have nearly enough lifeboats for everyone on board. As a result, more than half of the passengers and crew perished in the freezing ocean. Now, if this story sounds eerily familiar, a little bit like the Titanic, you're not wrong. But here said the mind-blowing part. The novel about the Titan was written 14 years before the real Titanic even set sail. Let's compare the notes. Morgan Robertson's fictional ship, the Titan, was created in 1898. The real RMS Titanic was launched in 1911 and sank in 1912. The fictional Titan had a top speed of 25 knots. The real Titanic had a top speed of about 24 knots. The Titan weighed 70,000 tons, while the Titanic was around 66,000 tons. The length? The Titan was 800 feet long. The Titanic was just a bit longer at 882 feet. In the book, the Titan was labeled unsinkable by its creators, a term that was also famously used to describe the real Titanic. Both ships were British-owned. Both hit an iceberg on their starboard side. Both sank in the North Atlantic in the month of April, and tragically, both suffered immense loss of life due to a severe shortage of lifeboats. The similarities are just staggering. How could this be possible? We will likely never know for certain where the author, Morgan Robertson, got the inspiration for his book Futility. He was a former sailor, so he knew ships in the sea, but the level of detail is uncanny. He was born in 1861 and passed away in 1915. Just 3 years after his fictional tragedy became a real-world event. He lived to see his premonition come true. But the story of Morgan Robertson's strange predictions doesn't end with the Titan. In 1914, he reissued a new version of Futility. In that same volume, he included a short story called Beyond the Spectrum. This story described a future war between the United States and Japan. In the book, Japan doesn't formally declare war. Instead, it launches a devastating sneak attack on U.S. ships, specifically targeting the fleet stationed in Hawaii. This was written 27 years before the attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941. Again, parallels are just too specific to ignore. A surprise attack on the Hawaiian naval base. It's almost a blueprint of what was to come. So, what was going on with Morgan Robertson? Did he somehow have dreams of the future without even realizing it? Was he gifted, or perhaps cursed, with some form of precognition? It's a question that science really can't answer. He himself claimed no special powers, just a deep knowledge of maritime trends and naval affairs. But the accuracy of his predictions continues to baffle researchers and historians to this day. Some have called the 21st century the golden age for writers, a time when more books are being written and published than at any other point in history. With so much creativity flowing, it makes you wonder, will another Morgan Robertson emerge? Will there be someone who writes a fictional story about a future event, only to live to see it come true? Or in our modern world, would such a story be dismissed as too fantastic, too unbelievable to be taken seriously, even after the fact? The line between imagination and reality can sometimes be thinner than we think. You've been listening to Kit's Myths and Mysteries, events that have occurred in a world you thought you knew. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey into the unexplained, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next episode.